Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be learning a lab about gel electrophoresis. And today the three main things we're going to be covering are, you're going to be able to identify the main parts of the gel electrophoresis chamber. You're going to be able to learn to operate the micropipette. And then we're going to learn how to run our gels using electricity. And last but not least, we're going to be able to interpret our gels. So which dyes are a certain weight, etc. So the first part, if we could all be able to take out the handouts that I gave you with the different parts of it, and we'll go through the different aspects. The first part to identify is this white structure here. It's called the cone. So you can all write that down. This is what creates the holes in our gel. This gel is made of what's called agarose. It's a ground up sea kelp. It's actually found in our ice cream and such, kind of as a hardening agent. And it creates those holes, also known as wells, so you're able to place the dyes in it. The next part is our trays. That's the part underneath our gel here. And it gives it a location on which to place the actual gel where it's hardening. It's kind of like a Jello jiggler. You put it in the right shape, it gives you that shape. And that's for this here. And then we have our two last parts here, which is our slate dams. And as you can see, they act like a dam to hold the gel within the tray here. So before you came in, I prepped this. I made it so it was a liquid gel, just like how we make our Jello at home. You add a little hot water, you add a little cold, you mix it all together, and then you let it sit. And that's what we had to do to get this structure. So this whole area is known as the gel electrophoresis chamber. And we have our lids here, and you see that they have a red and a black structure. Those are our cords. The red will signify positive charge. Black is going to signify the negative charge. And same idea you're going to have is the color coordinated later on to place the top on the lid like so. And then we can add electricity, because the name gel electrophoresis means we're going to be using electricity in which to transport in our parts of DNA. And as you saw in the paper lab with the Who Ate the Cheese, the larger sections didn't go as far as the lighter sections, in which we're able to travel farther down. What you're doing today is like a simulation of what we call a DNA fingerprint. So you're able to see the different bands creations, and that would kind of differentiate between each of us sitting here, or also potentially if it was a DNA sample from a crime scene, who did the crime, who was present, or even a family testing, so paternity test. Is this father the actual father? Last but not least this is our gel electrophoresis transformer. These also have the red and the black structures, so in the end you're going to actually put the red electrodes into the red, the black into the black, and that's what's going to create the energy that you need in which to travel or pull that negatively charged DNA down the gel. Are there any questions at the moment? Okay, so what we're going to do now is go on to the use of the micropipette, which is a very important part. These are micropipettes. These are roughly about $250 each, so we want to make sure you take care of them while you're using them. These are very, very minute or calibrated amounts of solution, so you're able to take small amounts and divvy it up as such. We use tips for each different sample that we use today, so we don't contaminate them. And the proper technique in which to apply that actual tip is to place the end in, do like a double or triple tap, and bring it up. You don't want to slam it down, nor do you want to make it so it's very light, otherwise it won't stay in place. It'll just fall right off. Then, to actually siphon the fluid, you want to press lightly. You can easily press too far, and that's actually going to give you the wrong amount of solution. So you want to do a light press, then you're going to want to put your tip into this. This is just green water to kind of get the technique practice, and you lift up. And you want to make it so it's very, very small amount of fluid here, and that's showing that it's actually the right amount that we have here. We have a thing called parafilm, which is just a plastic that we're going to use kind of as our painting device today to place our little water droplets to practice that. The technique you want to use is to make it so you do less amount of shaking, because we as humans have a little bit of a shaking tendency. You want to put your dominant hand or elbow down on the table to kind of use it for stability. Your non-dominant hand will grab the wrist to help with that a little bit of structure. You're going to place the tip as close as we can to the actual table. You don't want to press it all the way down, otherwise the solution will not be able to come up. But you also don't want it too high, and then potentially the fluid go all over the place. Your goal is to get it in the same spot. So elbow down, grab the wrist, carefully place the tip as close as you can to the parafilm, and press down. You want the water all in the same area, and then I'm going to keep my thumb down and lift up. And then when it's by my ear, I release my thumb. The reason why I did that is because if you don't, you're going to siphon the solution back up, and that's going to be not helpful. You want it as close as you can to that little spot. So let's practice that a few times, each one of you. So here's some parafilm for you, and here's a micropipette. Very nice. It's wonderful. Keep going, guys.
Okay. Oh, I think I pressed down too hard.
You pushed down too hard, so try again.
I think so.
So you press lightly.
Okay, that's better.
Better.
No, I just pressed it up too lightly. I mean, too close to the parafilm.
No, I think there was just some remaining.
Whatever, just go.
Whatever.
One more, how's that?
Either that or I'm doing it wrong. That's possible too.
No, it's good.
Shaky, shaky.
Working with these pipettes, we want to be able to remove the tips in between our samples so we don't contaminate it. So instead of just touching it all the time and then potentially getting ourselves covered with either the dye or the blood sample or whatnot, we want to make it so it's nice and easy. So there's these little blue buttons on the side here that's attached to this silver part here, which is going to act like just a little forcing device to push it down. So in the middle of our tables here, we have a little bit of a Tupperware. So you're going to press that button down and release that. You want to try that out? Very nice, Nicole. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our slates out, and then we're going to add this buffer solution. This buffer solution is going to make it so the gel is able to run through, the dyes are able to run through the gel itself. And so our first step is you're going to have probably Lily and Daisy, you're going to help remove the slates. And then what you're going to do, because there's a max line here, you want to fill the buffer solution to that max line, then similar size amount to this side, and a nice little coat along the top here. So come on over, so Daisy and Lily come on over. So one of you push down on the tray, and the other person can pull up on the slate. You're doing fine. Beautiful. Perfect. Put it to the side. Beautiful. Very nice. Nicole, you want to help pour?
Oh gosh.
And then I'll switch over here with you. So if you want to help out, Amanda, or are you just enjoying?
Oh man.
So find that green line, right?
On the side.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't mess up.
Daisy.
Be nice and positive. Don't worry if it will go to the other side. That's what happens. If you want to start on the other side, go ahead.
I don't know what the line is. I don't know.
Right, just go a little bit higher. Keep going.
Oh, that's good.
And then a little bit in the middle. So keep going until I tell you stop.
Oh.
Like right on the gel itself. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Keep going. You're fine. Keep going. There we go. Almost there. You want a nice even coat, so it's going to start evening it out on both sides. And stop. Beautiful. So, these are our dyes, which I labeled up on the board for us, the different ones, and then there's two unknowns. So the first one is bromothymol blue. It's labeled by the letter B. Then we have methyl orange, labeled O, Ponchos BS, which is labeled P, xylene cyanol, which is going to be labeled X, in 1 and 2. And we want to make sure that we're going to be reading the left to right, so we want to put it in this order. The very far left we want is B, then we go number 2 would be our second well would be O, etc., etc. Remembering that we want to always change our tips here. So, Daisy, you want to start us off with doing the bromomethyl blue? You do very good at this. So don't forget you want your tip. Nicole, you want to help her maybe with the dye, and you can hold it for her. I'm going to put my goggles back on.
Ooh, that's exciting. Do you want me to film her?
A little lower so she can see it. So you want to close it up so you don't spill. And then you're going to find the first well all the way to the left. Nice technique. Move it if you need to. You stick the tip into the hole. Remembering the gel's a little bit slipped, so you want to try to get all that sample into that hole. And keeping that thumb down, lift it up. Very nice. There's a little bit of bleeding, that's okay. You got a good amount of the sample in the actual well itself, so it'll still run. So let's switch it out, and then Amanda, you want to try one? Which one are we going to do next?
Methyl orange.
Very nice.
So that would be the,
So you're going to need to grab a tip. Nice teamwork here, guys. Very nice.
Hope you didn't get any.
Very good. So stick the tip all the way in.
You didn't get any.
Oh, I think I'm releasing it too.
Okay, so push before you go down.
Wait.
So push your thumb before you go down, then put the tip in, and then release the thumb before you come up. Release the thumb, and there you go.
Okay.
Now find that second hole closest to the left. Get that elbow down if you can. It'll help you from shaking. And put the tip into the actual well. Push down with the thumb nice and gently. Keep the thumb down, lift the arm up. Beautiful. Very nice.
Good job.
You want to do the next one, Nicole? Which is Ponchos BS. So what color, which letter are we going to do? Oh, change our tip. Very nice. Want to help her with the dye? P. That's all right. Find the well, put the tip in, release the dye, and keep the thumb down, lift. Very nice. Change the tip. You want to put the lid on, so to Daisy, put the lid on.
Oh.
So red to red, black to black. You want to help her out, Nicole?
I'll help her.
Very nice. You want to put those electrodes into the holes, black to black, red to red. Okay, you want to hit this black button here. And Daisy, you want to put push the up button until it says 140. So we're doing 140 volts. And let's hit the running man, which is going to allow for it's going to slowly go up until it reaches 140 volts. And then we should start to see bubbles in our actual chamber. So it's actually creating the current. You're seeing the actual beginning, and it's actually going to start getting warm in there because 140 volts creates a lot of heat. We're going to let this run for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back. Okay? So at the top we have there is the heaviest piece because it didn't go this far. The lightest piece is here. Then we see in this combination right here is a little bit of a blue and a yellow, showing those two are connected. And then this one right here, if allowed to separate a little bit more, would show that it was a combination of all four colors right there.